Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gut Health Happy Hour. As you may or may not know, I've been having some technical difficulties. Facebook has disallowed our ability to stream into our Facebook groups, but I think I found a workaround. And so if this is working, then I'm so happy. And so if you are coming on, please let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. Last time we had the happy hour, you could not hear me. So please, if you are coming on, give me a thumbs up or something so that I know that you can hear me and see me. I would very much appreciate it because I don't want to sit here and talk to myself. So let me know. Say hi. Say hi as you come on. Yay. Hi, Dana. You are always here to help. Thank you. Yay, it's working. Okay, it's the Gut Health Happy Hour. It's one of my favorite times of the week because we get to talk about how we can make our gut issues so much better, if not eradicate them completely. And there's so much that goes into it, which is why I can do a different Gut Health Happy Hour 52 weeks a year, because there are 52 different things that we can do to really help fix our gut. And I know that a lot of people think it's as simple as changing the diet and taking some supplements. And I wish it was that simple, but there's so much more that goes into it. So today, what we're talking about is, I say the word stress, but really what we're talking about is how the mind can affect our physical body. And this is such an important factor in particularly our gut health, but our overall health as well. And it's really something that is totally overlooked in, modern medicine and just really conventional systems that we have, especially in our country. And so I really want to bring to light what sort of this mind body thing is. And it's not woo woo. It's not just about meditation. It really is important to make sure that your gut brain connection and that your mind body connection is strong and flexible, just like our physical muscles, to improve your health and prevent worse things from happening down the road. Because let's face it, do I want to get rid of your bloating and your heartburn and your bowel issues? Yes, absolutely. And that is what I help my clients do every day. But my real goal is to help you extend your health span so that you live healthfully into your 80s, 90s, 100s and still can walk and eat and do all the things that you want to do with your life, because that is what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. It's not really about the heartburn. It's about preventing things from happening down the road. Because if your body is throwing up red flags to you now, it's telling you that something is awry and we need to look at it and address it, or else it's going to keep getting worse. And, our conventional system just kind of puts medications on top of it to make it go away. It's just like silencing those alarms that your body is trying to give you, but your body's giving you that alarm for a reason. And so getting to the root cause and helping your body to be able to heal itself is what I do with my clients. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Marissa Hughes. We have a lot of new people in this group. So welcome. We do this every Thursday, the Gut Health Happy Hour. I really want to bring some light and some fun into these, even though it is about a serious topic. Of course, our health is always serious, but I want to just be able to have a chat about it and learn and share experiences and support each other and all those good things. So that's what we do for about 30 minutes here every Thursday. We have a different topic, and today is stress. It's a very general, broad term, but we're going to get down into some specifics. So say hi as you're coming on, everybody. So I know who I'm here hanging out with. Give me a hashtag replay if you are watching the replay. And any questions that you have, any comments that you have, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I want it to be interactive, and this is your time as much as it is mine. So please feel free to use the chat. So we're talking about stress, but really what we're talking about deeper than that is the way we handle stressful situations, but really the way we handle anything external in our world. Hi, Tina. So a lot of people think that this mind body connection is kind of a woo woo thing. Like, oh, it's all about meditation or, whatever it might be. But scientifically, our mind controls what is going on in our body. So it's not a woo woo thing. It's not just about meditation, it's actual science. So we need to look at it as a necessity, just like eating healthy food and taking our vitamins. We need to look at our mind body connection as a necessity. So, if you've been with me for a while, you know what I'm about to do. It's all about the 4 pillars. So if you want to improve any health issue, I don't care what it is, we need to improve all 4 of these pillars. We need to make sure you're getting all of your nutrients. And if you're really stressed, you're burned through those nutrients like crazy. So you need even more nutrients. If you have gut issues, you're probably not absorbing nutrients. So it's all kind of a vicious cycle, right? We need to improve your gut bacteria. We need your gut bacteria to be happy and thriving like a nice, beautiful garden. We got to get rid of those toxins out of the body, because if your body is fighting toxins, you are going to be fighting to stay alive every day. And then the gut-brain connection, which is what we're focusing on today. Staying flexible with our nervous system, keeping that gut-brain connection really strong and happy and healthy. These are the 4 things that are going to create lifelong health for you. And so today we're talking about the gut-brain connection in particular. And so it's just as important as eating healthy food. And it's really, really overlooked. And so I just want to help you bring it into your day just as much as eating is brought into your day. And so real quick, let's just do a little experiment so you can see how your mind controls your body. I want you to think of what is your favorite food? Like, is it a big, juicy, cheesy piece of pizza, or like a big, spoonful of lasagna? You can tell what my favorite food is. Whatever your favorite food is, imagine it right now and imagine picking it up and taking a bite of it. Like how delicious it is and what probably just happened in your body. Did you feel a little saliva come out here? That's your mind telling your body what to do, because it knows that food is about to come down the pike. And your first digestion starts before you even put food in your mouth. Your mind needs to tell your body that it's about to get food. And so what happens is the mind tells the body, the saliva comes out. The saliva helps to break down the food. We chew the food to break it down. But all of that signals the cascade that goes all the way down our digestive tract to release stomach acid and digestive enzymes and all of the things that are going to help digest our food along the way. So that's just one example of how our mind controls our body, right? Or have you ever been in a really stressful situation? Like maybe you're going to speak on stage or something. Hi, Jenny. And you get sweaty and you get butterflies in your stomach. Well, why would that be happening naturally if it wasn't for your mind controlling your body, right? So those are just 2 examples that it's not a woo-woo thing. It's a science thing that your mind actually controls your body, right? So it all comes back to, when we have external stress, we can choose. Sometimes we can't, but most of the time we can choose to either get into fight or flight, and our adrenaline goes up and our cortisol goes up and our heart rate goes up, and we deal with it because our body is allowing us to deal with it by sending all of these things out to us. And that goes back to caveman days, right? If you're getting chased by a tiger, you need all your blood to go to your limbs. You need those stress hormones to help you run faster and be able to make quick decisions, right? And so what is the first thing that happens when all of that starts to happen? Your digestion shuts down, because you don't need to be digesting food if you're running from a tiger. That wouldn't make any sense. You're not going to grab a handful of chips while you're getting chased by a tiger and start munching on them, right? So your body is very intelligent. It knows what to do. So being in fight or flight is good for us. We're not getting chased by tigers most likely, but we might be chased by somebody. But it goes all the way to you get a stressful phone call that you need to deal with, or there's a stressful test or project at work. And our body raises all these things to help us deal with it. But what it does is it shuts down the digestion because that's the most energy consuming process. And then that allows us to deal with these stressful situations. And your body can stay in fight or flight even after that stressful situation is over. And then the parasympathetic nervous system comes in and helps you calm back down into rest and digest, where we want to spend most of our day. Now, the problem is that we don't just have highly stressful situations. We have all these little tiny acutely stressful situations. And so when we're in fight or flight, maybe our body is never really coming out of that fight or flight because you get another stressful phone call, or you have the news on and the politics are stressing you out, or the kids have, 3 events they have to go to tonight and you've got to figure that out, and you have bills you have to pay, and right? Fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. And when we're always in fight or flight, what's going to happen? Your digestion is never going to work. Right? And so this is a huge, huge impact on why a lot of people have gut issues, because we're living in this fight or flight world. Back in our grandparents' day, there were no laptops that you could take home from work. You worked 9 to 5, you went home and you were done, right? There was no cell phones where you're getting stressful texts all day long, or you're scrolling social media and you're watching the 24-hour news cycle. The food was actually real food. There were way, 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 way less toxins in the world. There was way less disease back then, right? It wasn't like everything was perfect, but it was a slower, less stressful time. Well, that time now has totally changed. And the thing is that we can't control our external world. We have to take care of our kids. We have to pay our bills. We have to go to work, right? But what we can control is how we take those external stressors on and deal with them. So the same exact thing could happen to 2 different people. Let's just say, Jim and Bob's car both break down on the side of the road. Jim, he's with his family and he's like, okay, kids, let's, just calm down. I'm going to call AAA. I'm going to call Uber. AAA comes out, Uber picks him up. He goes, let's just go have dinner. We'll call the dealership. We'll get a rental car and everything will be fine. Bob, on the other hand, loses his mind, calls the dealership and screams at them, is yelling at the kids because the kids are messing around and annoying him, is yelling at the wife to call somebody else to get them to come pick them up, and on and on and on. You can see where my point is that the exact same thing happened to 2 different people and they handled it 2 different ways. So whose body do you think is going to be happier? Whose gut is going to be happier, right? Jim's about to go out to dinner and he's probably going to digest his dinner okay, because he didn't let this stressor impact his entire being. He didn't get up into fight or flight, maybe just for a little bit so he could make the phone calls and jump into action. But he was able to come back down into rest and digest and eat his food and all of the other things that he needs to do that day, right? So these little things happen to us all day long. All day long. Every little thing that happens to us can either send us up here and we can choose this, or we can kind of stay down here and allow our bodies to not take on the pressure and the damage that is going to be caused when you're always up here, right? So I just want to read you something because this book is incredible. It's called The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, who, if you don't know Bruce Lipton, he's one of my favorite people on the planet. Just YouTube him, and his videos are just amazing. And he's like, I want him to be my grandpa. And so I just want to read you a little bit of the science behind it, how it doesn't only affect our digestion, but what's going on in our brain can affect our entire body and our overall health. So research has confirmed that brain cells translate the mind's perceptions or beliefs, so whatever our mind is telling our body of the world, beliefs of the world, into complementary and unique chemical profiles that, when secreted into the blood, control the fate of the body's 50 trillion cells. So blood not only nourishes the cells, its neurochemical components also regulate the cell's genetic and behavioral activity. So did you hear that? Genetic. So his study of science is in epigenetics, above genetics. Only about 2% of disease is truly genetic, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way to improve it. 98% of disease is preventable. And if it's in your genes, it doesn't mean that you are destined to have that same disease. So many people come to me and they go, well, my mom had this and my aunt had this, and so I have it. It doesn't have to be that way. Epigenetics tells us that you can change those behaviors in your cells with your mind, with your food, with your gut bacteria, all four of those pillars, right? And so here's another example of how our mind controls our body. The placebo effect. Have you guys ever experienced or heard of anybody that had the placebo effect? So in clinical trials, they have two groups of people, at least, people who get the medicine and people who don't get the medicine, but they all don't know whether they got it or not. And the people who don't get the medicine many, many times get better. And they've been struggling for X amount of years, and they get better without ever getting that medicine. So how does that work? And some people brush it off, and some people like, I'll do something that my friends think is woo-woo, and they'll go, well, it's probably just placebo effect. Well, fantastic. I think that's great. If your mind can tell your body to get better as a placebo effect, that's amazing. Why would you brush that off like it's something that isn't valuable, right? Placebo effect is amazing. So here's another example. A Baylor School of Medicine study published in 2002 in the New England Journal of Medicine evaluated surgery for patients with severe debilitating knee pain. So the patients in the study were divided into three groups. The doctor shaved the damaged cartilage in the knee of one group. For another group, he flushed out the knee joint. He was trying to see which one of those things had the best effect. And in the third group, they got a fake surgery. There was actually an incision. They were sedated. They were sewn back up, the whole 9 yards. And all three groups were prescribed the same exact post-operative care. The groups who received the surgery, as expected, all improved, but the placebo group improved just as much as the other two groups. Like, that is the power of the mind. This is actually a study in the New England Journal of Medicine, right? So just a few examples of how our mind can control our body. And so when we have an illness, if we have gut issues, if we have autoimmune issues, if we have, pretty much any issue in the body, we can use the power of our mind to help improve it. So we cannot remove stress from outside of our worlds, but what we can do is handle the way we perceive it and deal with it so that it mitigates the effect that it has on our physical body. So we have two nervous system states, and what ideally we want to be able to do is be flexible. You want to be able to get into fight or flight, into rest and digest, and back and forth, right? So how do we do that? Well, you can train your body. You can train your body to do anything. All of the habits and all of the behaviors that we have are all trained. We weren't born as babies knowing how to have any of these habits or behaviors that we have now. It's all learned, all trained. And so you can do that at any point in your life. You can retrain. You can create new neural pathways in your brain. You can create new habits. And I see this in my clients all the time. They come to me and they tell me they're not stressed. They do the supplements, they do the gut microbiome testing, they eat all the delicious, healthy foods, they do other things, but what they tell me they don't need is the gut-brain connection pillar. They'll do the other three pillars, no problem. And then they'll tell me, I don't need that, I'm fine. And they keep spinning their wheels. Like, they feel 80% better, but they're still a little bit just holding on. And it's that pillar. And so even if you go, no, I'm not stressed, I'm fine. Well, the world we live in now, you don't really get to choose whether or not you pay attention to your nervous system. It's a necessity for all of us. And that includes children. I have worked with children who have worse testing results than a lot of my 50 and 60-year-old clients because they're not eating well. They're totally stressed and don't realize it. They have toxins in their body because their food is toxic. right? This world, so those kids are going to grow up to be, sadly, very sick people if nothing is done. So all of us, every single person, every single one of us, it's our duty to take care of our nervous system. Just as importantly as you eat every day, we need to take care of the nervous system every day. So I'm going to give you my top 3 tips on how to take care of your nervous system. And a lot of people think we just want to be in rest and digest all the time. Well, that's not good either. We've got to be able to be flexible. That is the goal, flexibility of the nervous system, right? So to retrain the body, we want to start first thing in the morning. What you do first thing in the morning gives your body a signal. Here's what's going to happen the rest of the day. So if you get out of bed, pick up your phone and look at your email, start yelling at the kids and hustling to like make breakfast and do all the things, you're telling your body like, holy shit, buckle up. We have quite a day. And your body goes into fight or flight, shuts down the digestion, and probably stays there the rest of the day. And then you go to work, and then maybe you go do this like CrossFit workout, which gets you even more in fight or flight. And then you take the kids to their basketball practice, and then you eat in the car, which you're not digesting that food because you're still stressed eating in the car. And then your whole day is fight or flight, right? No healing of your body can happen. Then you don't sleep well. So there's no detoxification happening. There's no rebuilding of the cells happening. There's no, repair happening in your body. And so first thing in the morning, what you want to do is tell your body, hey, it's cool, man. We've got this under control. So the very, very best thing you can do, like the absolute opposite of the most stressful emotions, fear and anger and grief and resentment, the absolute opposite of those stressful emotions is gratitude. And just getting your body into a gratitude state changes the state of your entire physical being. So first thing in the morning, have a little journal next to your bed. I don't even care if it's a napkin or a Post-it note. Write down 3 things you're grateful for before you even get yourself out of bed. Do a little stretching, like your organs have been working so hard all night long, and then we just get up and like expect them to start doing things. So do a little stretching, get some juices flowing in the body, drink a big glass of water, hydrate the body. Maybe take 5, 10, 15 minutes to just ease into your day. Maybe you do a little deep breathing, because we're always breathing up here into the neck and the throat. And that is telling our body that we're stressed. So just real quick, drop your shoulders, unfurrow your brow, let your belly expand, bring a little smile to your face, and take a nice big deep breath into the belly. Trying not to engage your neck muscles. And then just sigh it out. Just that one 10-second exercise right there will get your body into rest and digest. So maybe just taking some of those good deep breaths, getting some movement, getting the blood flowing into your muscles so your muscles can actually work right. All of those things first thing in the morning will tell your body like, hey, nothing to worry about here, right? Then your body can kind of catch up and go, okay, let's do this. Let's take on the day, right? The longer your morning routine, the better. I started getting up 45 minutes earlier, and I've got a whole morning routine that I do. Some of you are privy to it. It's called my BAM routine, breathing, affirmations, and movement, in addition to my lemon water, my super aminos, everything else that I do. But I have a little guide for it. So if you want to check out my morning BAM routine, you can just put BAM, BAM, in the comments, and I'll send that over to you. But I started getting up earlier and earlier because I know how important that is for me, for everybody. It's really, really the most important time of the day to make sure that you are in rest and digest, right? So taking a little time to do your morning routine is number one most important tip that I could ever have. Set your body up for success for the day. And what you put into your body first thing in the morning is most important. If you go straight to coffee, your organs are going to be like, oh, we don't have anything. We don't have any way to process things yet. Like, we're already stressed, and now we have no water. We're dehydrated. So big glass of water first thing in the morning. Every single day of my life, I have a green shake first thing in the morning. I flood my body with nutrients. And then, like tonight, I'm going to a party and I'm probably going to have some drinks and some tacos and whatever else. But I've already set my body up for so much success for the rest of the day that is going to be fine. So part of that morning routine is really just nourishing your body, right? We're giving it information when we give it food. We're giving it information, not just calories. And it takes that information and goes, oh, well, thank you. You just gave me all these nutrients, all this wonderful water, this wonderful rested nervous system. Thank you. Now I will take care of you the rest of the day because I have fuel, right? So tip number 2 is undistracted eating. So if you are eating at your computer, at your desk, or scrolling your phone, or while you're yelling at the kids, or while you're driving, you are not digesting your food. There's no two ways about it. You are not digesting your food. So that food will sit in your stomach. You will get bloated. You will get heartburn. You will get constipated. That food will still be there when you go to eat your next meal. And the whole cycle just keeps perpetuating. And then you take an antacid because you have heartburn. And now you're reducing your stomach acid in your stomach. So now that food really isn't getting broken down because there's no stomach acid to break it down. Right? Vicious cycle. Mindful eating. And you've probably heard about it and you're probably like, I don't need that. Take a breath. Look at your food. Let that saliva get released. The saliva signals the other things to get released. The stomach acid, the enzymes. Look out at nature. Do some gratitude. Oh, I'm so thankful for this food. Right? Eat in a state that is happy and enjoyable. And believe me, your food will digest better in that state. If you are eating at your desk, please message me. I will send you a link to the shake I drink at work because I don't have time to take an hour lunch break. And for some of you, you don't have time to take an hour lunch break. If you don't take an hour lunch break, you're not digesting your food. So I have a shake when I'm busy at work. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my schedule is packed. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have a lunch shake because I know if I just eat my lunch and keep going, my food will sit in my stomach. I can feel it. So mindful eating. Believe me, your body will be so happy. And then tip number 3 is finding a practice that works for you to relax your nervous system. For me, it's breath work. And I've started facilitating breath work, as a lot of you know. If you are interested, I'm doing complimentary sessions for the next 2 months. So if you want a complimentary breathwork session, put breathe in the comments and I'll send you the information. For me, even if I just do 8 minutes, which might seem like a lot to you, for me, that's pretty short. It changes the rest of my day. It changes for days after. It truly relaxes the nervous system, but deeper than that, it can actually release negative emotions out of the cells of your body. Physically, scientifically release negative emotions out of the cells of your body. Super impactful. But maybe for you, it's not breath work. Maybe for you, it is a walk in nature. No cell phone, nothing in your ears, quiet, right? Maybe for you, it's just straight up meditation, just sitting and being. You know, there's so many different ways. Maybe it's yoga. So finding your practice, because everybody needs one. I don't really like to tell people what they need to do, but I feel like I need to say it in that way because so many people are just simply ignoring it. Like people say, I ate so healthy, but I still don't feel good. So it clearly goes beyond the food. But people get really overly focused on the food. And then they cut things out. And then they cut more things out. I don't know. It's just the food. It's not the food's fault. There's something going on in your body. If you can't digest food, it's not the food's fault. There's something going on in your body, right? And this is a way to truly be able to heal your body. Your body can only heal in rest and digest. Your body cannot heal in fight or flight. And so if we give the body the proper tools, it can heal itself. If we give the body all 4 of these pillars as close to 100% as we can get, the body will heal itself. So I don't care what your diagnosis is, what your symptoms are, the body can heal itself. So I hope that gives you hope, because I talk to so many of you that give me the laundry list of all of your symptoms and all of your things and go, I've tried everything and nothing works. But there's always hope, because maybe you haven't found the right combination of things yet. So I need a little water. It's a lot of talking. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Drop them in the chat. And if you want my BAM morning routine, just put BAM in the comments. If you want just more information on the breath work that I do, we can go as little as 8 minutes and all the way up to about 45 minutes on these various breathwork sessions. And I craft them for you depending on your needs. And it's really, really super impactful. I've seen incredible health transformations. You know, anxiety and depression and things like that are a little more obvious of what it can help, but it can really get down deep into autoimmune issues and lifelong gut issues and, you know, all kinds of things like that. So if you want more information and you want a complimentary session, please let me know. Let me see. Oh, Deanne says breathwork is great. Yes, Deanne does breathwork with me. Good. Okay. Grant breathwork. I'll get those sent out to you, ladies. Yeah. And Deanne says, if you drink coffee first and early, you're more likely to need more caffeine later in the day. That's so exactly right, because what caffeine does is it steals energy from somewhere else in your body. It's not true energy. And so it's going to steal it, and you're going to need to get it back at some point. I'm not saying don't drink coffee, but just do some other supportive things for your body first. Questions. And I know there's a lot of new people in the group. For those of you who do not know me yet, I had gut issues for 35 years and finally decided to kind of take control, figure out my own issues. It took me about 12 years to do it. And I work with hundreds of women. I use all my experience to put together my program that I have now, the Happy Belly Method. And I basically took, you know, my 12 years and all my experience and kind of crushed it down into this 4-month program. And I can really do with my clients in 4 months what took me 12 years. And so that's what I'm passionate about. That's why I have this group, so I can share everything I've learned with you all. So reach out if you need anything. If you have any questions, please, always, you can comment here. If you're on the replay, I'll come back and check here. Yeah. Okay, no questions. I will see you all here, same place, same time next week, 3 o'clock Pacific time for the Gut Health Happy Hour. Love you all. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you then.